I'll come on here. Hello, I'm Marisa, and I have a blog, All Our Way, and at All Our Way we like to show you how you can make magic in the kitchen with simple ingredients. You don't have to be a chef and you don't have to be Italian. All you have to have are simple ingredients from a well-stocked pantry and you'll create your magic. Okay, I am waiting for us to go on to connect to the computer, so if you can wait a minute, we will start. We haven't connected yet, so it might take a few minutes. So anyway, today we are going to make spicy garlic spinach pasta with ceci or chickpeas. And it's a very quick dish. What I've done to expedite things is I went ahead and made the ditalini ahead of time. And then I have everything all ready to go, measured, and so it shouldn't take long. I'm waiting to see on the computer when we connect, but if we don't, we don't. So anyway, I'm glad you're here. And again, my name is Marisa from All Our Way. And here we try to kind of help you out trying to solve problems as far as what are we going to have for dinner? I mean, how many times have you said that? I'm really, really bad. I'm a lot better now that hubby is home and tries to keep me organized. And so we do have a pretty well-stocked pantry, and we just keep the staples, not too many expensive things. So what we do is whenever I want to go ahead and say, gee, what are we going to have for dinner? I just have the other ingredients that we're going to do. So first of all, I'm kind of waiting to see if anybody else joins us. And if you ever have any problems finding what you want to, raise your hand. Thumbs up, tell me who you are, I'd love to know. So anyway, what I'm going to do is we're going to start off with heating up some of this, the hot pot here, and we have 3 tablespoons of olive oil and a tablespoon of butter, and I'm going to let that melt a little bit, and then we've got 3 garlic cloves minced and some hot pepper flakes. And you'll be amazed how quickly this comes together. There's hardly any ingredients at all, but it's super, super good. So, I just thought of something. Here it is. Here it is. The baby spinach. I thought I had everything organized. So anyway, once this melts, we'll go ahead and get going. It should be about medium low. So as soon as that heats up, I'm really new to these induction cookers. So if I goof up, yell to me, okay? Because I'm really not too sure how this is going to go. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and this is melting. And I'm going to go ahead and put my garlic and hot pepper flakes in. And I have to say, I really appreciate this recipe. It's from a really talented lady. Her name is Jessica Merchant, and she has a blog, How Sweet Eats. And I usually, every one of her recipes that I've ever tried, I've loved. So anyway, here we go. It's starting to melt, so I'm going to go ahead and add my garlic and let that kind of become fragrant, and it should about a minute or two. And if you want the recipe, I'm going to go ahead and post it right above the video. And also, I'll if you didn't get a chance to download that printable, I'm also going to go ahead and I have a link to that too. I said I wasn't going to say anymore. That's a pretty bad habit. So I'll try not to. Maybe I need a little buzzer or something every time I do to remind me not to say it. So finally today the sun is shining. It was so dark and dreary this morning. I thought that the sun had never come out, but it did, so I'm really happy about that. This takes about 10 to 12 ounces of baby spinach. So we're going to go ahead and put that in and watch it kind of melt down a little bit. I'm going to turn down the heat on that. That's pretty hot. So, and this wilts pretty fast. If you're familiar with spinach, it does. And I have the chickpeas right here, and a brand that I really like, and I'm not a sponsor or anything for them, is the Goya brand. Because they're really, if you can see, they're really nice, and they don't have those shells everywhere. They don't, so anyway, if you're just joining me, I'm Marisa at All Our Way, and right now we're making spicy garlic spinach pasta with ceci or chickpeas. So this is a perfect vegan dish. You don't, if you don't want to add there's Parmesan cheese at the very end. You don't have to add it if you don't. Now, if your hubby's like mine, he has to have meat. I don't care what it is. He has to see some kind of protein in it. And so I'd be happy just having this for dinner or lunch. But he will have to have some meat. You could probably add chicken to it if you wanted to, or maybe just have grilled chicken on the side. But it's pretty complete with the chickpeas and the pasta, the ditalini that we're going to add to it. And as I said, it's considered a 20-minute meal, but I didn't think you wanted to stand here and wait and watch water boil along with me. That's a little bit boring. Those are the days when I turn on some music and have my glass of wine and kind of sit and stare and watch the water boil. So, did you have a nice Thanksgiving? Did you have a chance to go out and get some great bargains? We stayed in. We usually don't do too much as far as shopping goes. We're kind of beyond that. We love the internet, so that's what we do mostly. Internet is great. So if you've just come in, we are making spicy garlic spinach pasta with chickpeas. And it can be a complete meal, or you can cheat like I do. If you're busy running around, just pick up one of those roast chickens at the big box stores. We had a friend once, this is many, many years ago, and actually she was the mother of a friend of my husband's, and her name was Dot. And she, when her husband came home, she would always say, "Oh, I was so busy today, so very busy." Instead, she was running around. But what she did was she'd move one piece of furniture just a little bit here and a little bit there. So when he walked in, he thought, "Oh, she'd been cleaning all day. Huh, wasn't she something?" So that was her little trick. I don't think he ever caught on. So anyway, I added the chickpeas. Now I'm going to just heat this up for a little bit. Kind of make sure they're well mixed. And it doesn't take long for them to heat up. And once they heat up, then I'm going to go ahead and put in the pasta. And then the cheese. And then just kind of let the cheese melt, and then we'll be all done. So it looks like it's just a little bit of salt and pepper. Although I'm not going to add too much pepper. We like our pepper because we like things hot. But I know a lot of people don't. We've already added the red peppers, so that should do it for the heat. Of course, you can add as much as you want, depending on how hot you like it. So it's just enough to get the chickpeas good and hot, because since they're canned, they were already cooked. All right. And don't forget, you don't see the recipe now, but right after the video, I am going to go ahead and put a link where you can download the recipe. But it's easy enough that you can memorize it. So about 2 or 3 minutes with the chickpeas, then comes the ditalini. So there is a lot of pasta. It's 8 ounces of ditalini cooked. So that's quite a bit. I mean, this is going to feed quite a few people. So just make sure it just goes everything is heated up. One thing nice about ditalini pasta, as I said, we did do it earlier, just so you didn't have to watch it boil and pasta cook. But it doesn't really get gummy. And as always, just be sure you don't overcook. Al dente, even a little bit. Now, normally what I would do is I would take a half a cup of the pasta water right before I dump the water out and save it, because I like adding it a little bit. It gives it a little bit saucier. But hubby did this for me, and he couldn't read my mind, unfortunately. So here we go. As soon as this is really hot all the way through, and we've got the spinach throughout, we're going to go ahead. You can even add more spinach. These packages, the original recipe called for 12 ounces. Now these packages are 5, no, this is 6 and 5, so 11 ounces. Unless you got a really big sack of it, I don't think you'd be able to get the 12 ounces of baby spinach. Okay, I've got the grated pecorino romano, and I've got a confession to make. You know how they're always talking about Parmigiano Reggiano? Well, hubby being hubby, he says, we're not spending that. Not just to put in a dish. So I don't buy that green bottle, green canister one, but I do, we get a good grade, but we don't do the Parmigiano Reggiano. And I'm sure there's a lot of you too that, you have to save a little bit. Now, if we were just going to make like those little cookies that they make out of Parmesan cheese that they bake that are so good, now that I would go ahead and spend the extra money. So there we are. It is done. It is finished. So that was a quick meal. I didn't time it, but I know it didn't take any time at all. So if you had some meat to go along with it, there you go. You've got your protein, your peas in there, your spinach, your ditalini, your spices, and there's plenty here to feed an army. So next week, I am going to do some holiday recipes, and I'm even going to have a holiday drink somewhere along here. So I'll be here again next Thursday at 2 o'clock. So I do hope you'll join me, and be sure and leave your message and say hi, and if you like, share. I'd love for you to share this. So thank you, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye. Ciao.